What's up, the squad? Back with another video. Y'all seen the title was going down. Make sure you hit the like button, hit that subscribe button for me, please. Y'all see it right here. So I know a lot of y'all have seen. Pretty wild, pretty wicked. I'm not even gonna lie when it comes down to it. On just how individuals act. You know what I mean? If y'all seen my last video, y'all see what I mean by that. But just check out just how Ilhan Omar acts.
Sanctuary cities that protect the criminals and enact serious penalties for public officials who block the removal of criminal aliens. In many cases, drug lords, murderers all over our country, they're blocking the removal of these people out of our country, and you should be ashamed of yourself.
He said, you should be ashamed of yourself. I'm telling you, definitely should be. Speaker Johnson reveals he came close to stopping Ilhan Omar rant during President Trump's State of the Union speech, but letting her speak was good for the American people to see a shame that she brought upon the party. Me personally, I probably wouldn't have removed her either. I know a lot of people probably like, oh, nah, remove her, remove. Listen, I wouldn't have either because this is stuff that you definitely want to show people. People may not even notice or may step out the room, during, if they was watching this live or this, that, and the other. But, as y'all know, I myself, it's showing y'all this. It's obviously highlights that'll be posted. And other people who don't even see, or didn't watch it, can see just how individuals act, especially when President Trump said, basically, U.S. citizens first or illegal aliens. And y'all seen that really mostly all, if not all, Democrats sat down. They still stay seated. And it goes to show y'all. Check it out.
From your unique vantage point, what was it like looking out at Congresswoman Omar and Congresswoman Tlaib?
It was shameful, really. And I came this close to stopping them. We could have probably ejected them from the floor. But, I thought let their actions speak for themselves. The president handled it so well, of course. And if they'd gone a step further, we probably would have ejected them. But I think it was good for them to be there. I think it's good for the American people to see the shame that they brought upon their party and upon themselves. And what a stark contrast between them and between the Republican Party, who are standing and cheering for all these great Americans who deserved all this attention tonight. The brave law enforcement officers, military officials who received all the medals and the honors tonight, the victims of crime. I mean, we're on the right side of common sense, on law and justice, on security and American dominance and strength. And the Democrats stand for exactly the opposite of all that. Their record shows it, and their actions tonight, I think, really brought shame on their party.
Definitely a shame. I'll tell y'all that. Definitely a shame. You have here, though, and this is what I wanted to talk about. I want to talk about these yesterday, but, it's okay. Talking about today. Ilhan Omar is complaining that her State of the Union guest was kicked out and arrested after being disrupted during President Trump's speech. Pretty wicked, pretty wild for her to say. I'm not going to lie. It says reports indicate she was aggressively handled until someone intervened to secure medical attention. She was taken to George Washington University Hospital for treatment. This is after, this is not during it, but it just goes to show y'all, it literally, oh, wait, no, this is. Says, okay, so she was taken to George Washington University Hospital for treatment and later booked at the United States Capitol Police Headquarters. Okay, so she was. Okay. I know for a fact, and that's why I said that this individual, and it literally just goes to show you, this individual has been, I guess you can say, it's been different cases with this individual. And for her to even have her as a guest, I mean, come on now. Like, y'all know what y'all doing. Says the heavy-handed response to a peaceful guest sends a chilling message about the state of our democracy. I'm calling for a full explanation on why this arrest occurred. That's this. Man, let me tell y'all something. You're literally going in there being disrespectful. Yelling, screaming, doing whatever. Says Ilhan Omar says her guest was arrested after standing during President Trump's State of the Union address. The guest, I'm guessing Aaliyah Rahman, was charged with unlawful conduct, which could carry up to 6 months in jail. I mean, that's I mean, that's what usually happens when you somewhere acting a fool that you shouldn't be. I mean, that's just what it is. It's consequences, right? Truly. Check it out.
Your guests, one of the guests that you brought to the State of the Union was actually arrested by U.S. Capitol Police during President Trump's speech for allegedly disrupting the proceeding. Explain to our viewers, Congresswoman, what happened, and is she still in custody?
Yeah, you might remember Aliyah Rahman was the disabled woman who was headed to a doctor's appointment when ICE agents broke her window and forcibly dragged her, detained her, and she suffered a concussion, many broken bones, and it was really important for me to have her here. And as she said this morning, you know, at the State of the Union, you can do two things. One is to sit, the other is to stand up, and she chose to stand up. We know that she was taken to the hospital after she was detained. Now she is back and safe.
Your guest.
Y'all, they have an agenda. They know what they're doing when they go to these events. Like, you know what you're doing, especially the State of the Union. Like, come on now. Y'all went in there with a playbook. We gonna do this. We gonna do that. Y'all got pins that y'all wearing. Y'all got signs. Come on now, like, make it make sense. It's one thing with like doing something and then taking full accountability. Like, yeah, we did this. But y'all literally are doing stuff and then playing victim. Come on now. Make it make sense. I mean, honestly, make it make sense.
You know,
this is our guest speaking.
I have spent the last month learning the names of the tendons in my shoulder, because both of my shoulders are torn, cartilage and tendon, right? But what I haven't learned is the names of the people who did this to me, and that's really challenging. But honestly, the thing that I'm far more concerned about than myself is that this is an ongoing fear and threat for people around this country. What happened to me is absolutely not new in the history of this country, and we have not seen accountability that gives me any reason to believe this won't be done to somebody else. So that's what I'm thinking about today. And honestly, I'm glad that it's me sitting in that seat rather than somebody who's cheering for what happened to me.
Ain't nobody cheering for what happened to you. Like, all that victim shit gotta go. Like, I'm sorry for cussing. Like, all that gotta go. Like, stop doing that. Like, you gotta stop doing that. I feel like if you get pulled over and things like you sit there, start resisting, let them put you in handcuffs, let them take you whatever. If you in the clear, you in the clear. Because once you get out, if you want to take further action because they didn't treat you right or this, that, and the other, there you have it. When y'all sitting there, y'all resisting, y'all grabbing on officers, y'all grabbing they weapons belt, when y'all hitting them and throwing and doing this and doing that, what you think gonna happen? Like, honestly, like, what you think gonna happen? I truly don't get that. Y'all gotta make stuff. People gotta make stuff make sense. People are not making stuff make sense with that. Stop playing victim. Y'all are doing a lot of this to yourselves. When y'all, and this don't just go for no ICE agents. Just go for the police officers. Go for, man, if you get stopped, be cordial, be cool, because there ain't nobody's above the law. Let me tell y'all something. If you feel like somebody is doing the most, let them do what they need to do. Comply, do what you need to do, and y'all take further action once y'all get out. If y'all ain't doing nothing wrong. That's it. I'm telling y'all that people are making it hard on themselves. They're making it hard on themselves. I mean, why? Truly, why? And you can tell. Says right here, during Donald Trump's speech, Rahman started demonstrating, which violated rules for the event. So when Ilhan Omar say, oh, well, you can stand or you can sit, she violated the rules of the event. The guest was told to sit down, but refused to obey our lawful orders. The police said in a statement, it is illegal to disrupt the Congress and demonstrate in the congressional buildings. Bro, stop playing victim, bro. Like, truly. Check it out, Greg Gutfield.
Ilhan Omar. She repulses me, and I'm trying to find out why, because she's not unattractive. She has an unusual amount and kind of anger. Mm-hmm. She has no right to that level of rage.
I'm gonna tell y'all why she's angry and why she's raging. She's angry and she's raging because people have caught on to her. When Nick Shirley touched down in Minnesota, that's when she knew, oh yeah, I'm shaking in my boots. Soon she seen what Nick Shirley was about and seeing individuals, especially not only her but her husband and everybody around her, a whole Somalian community. Oh yeah, you can definitely tell when a person is guilty. You can.
In the United States of America, the country who gave her corrupt ass a new life. It's not like she's a homeless Vietnam vet who can't get services and should be enraged at the government. She should be kissing the ground she walks on instead of spitting on it. And her anger is also reminds me of the radical who, given power, would destroy you. She would show no mercy for you if you were below her. Like, the look on her face is somebody who would step on your neck instead of giving you a hand. And that is not the kind of person we should have in our leadership. It's not the type of person we should have in this country. And if we find out that she screwed up on her immigration stuff, she's got to go.
She got to.
She should be thanking President Trump for finding fraud.
She should be thanking everybody. One thing about it, though, like I said, it's the fraud. We've caught on to her. This is Angela Rose. I know some of y'all know who Angela Rose is. Y'all don't. She's been on top of it, too, with a lot of the fraud, with Ilhan Omar and the Somalians. Check it out.
I just want to make sure everybody is aware as to why Ilhan Omar was so upset and why the camera was on her when Trump was talking about Somali fraud. Some people think that it was because she has allowed all of the Somali fraud in Minneapolis. And while that is true, she herself has a long history of fraud. Let's go over some of them. So during her campaign, she raised $5 million. $3 million of that went to a company that they own that does political consulting. That is illegal. She has a long history of getting investors to invest hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars and promising high returns and not delivering. So down the street from their WeWork consulting business that doesn't actually operate is a restaurant whose owner invested $300,000 in their winery that seems to have never sold one bottle of wine. He invested $300,000, was promised $900,000 within 18 months. That's ridiculous. I don't know why they would promise that. And that ended up in fraud. He barely was repaid. And then you have some South Dakotan entrepreneur, marijuana business people who invested over $3 million with them, were promised returns, and also never got their money back. Okay, so they're continuously frauding out investors. Exactly. And then their consulting company, they didn't have any clients, apparently, and they had no registration. But when you look a little bit closer, one of their clients was this international person named Bijou, who had this Think and Learn platform, and he worked with Rose Lake Capital to try to secretly buy back his company after they went bankrupt. This guy had a $1.2 billion debt in the United States, and $533 million from that was missing. So this guy registered a shell company at IHOP in Miami. And he sent the $533 million there to round trip it back to himself. The same thing that Ilhan Omar and all of her businesses always do, round tripping money back to themselves. It's fraud. Rose Lake Capital held on to $11 million to make it seem like they were going to buy his learning company, to make it seem like they had money. A part of that $11 million came from the $533 million that was missing. So much fraud.
It's a lot of fraud. It ain't worse than California, but it's a lot of fraud. It's enough. I'm telling y'all, it says from illegally pocketing campaign money to helping people hide millions of dollars to tricking investors to potentially illegal migrate to this country. She's done it all. And she truly has. I'm telling y'all, she truly, truly has. And it's definitely insane to me that she's doing this and got this going on. Says right here, this Nancy Mace, how does Ilhan Omar go from 0 to 30 million in 1 year? Maybe she owns one of those infamous Minnesota daycares. Check it out.
Joining me now to discuss is South Carolina Representative Nancy Mace. Nancy, thank you for joining the Pulse this evening. What are your thoughts, first and foremost, on all of this $30 million that seemingly came out of nowhere, poof, overnight? Do you think there's any possibility that she was able to increase that much wealth legally?
Oh, certainly not. I don't know how you go from being worth $0 to being worth possibly up to $30 million in the span of 1 year. I wonder, David, and thank you for having me on tonight, if she might own one of those infamous Minnesota daycares. Like, how is she making that kind of money overnight?
Yeah, I think that that's the same question that a lot of people have. Is how in the world she went from making that much money. I know that you had previously brought a probe, I believe, through the committee to try to find out and dig into maybe her finances. Can you tell us a little bit about what led to that, and what possibly proof or verification that you have that even led to putting her on the spot?
Well, I put her on the spot. I tried to subpoena her and her brother husband's immigration records on the Oversight Committee about 2 weeks ago. I was struck down by both Republicans and Democrats alike. I think this goes beyond government fraud. I think there's immigration fraud and that sort of thing. And if we're operating like this in Congress and not holding people accountable, the American people will never trust us. And when you look at the national debt, it makes you wonder whether we're talking about Ilhan Omar going from 0 to 30 million or the massive $19 billion of fraud in Minnesota. You got to wonder if the fraud is the national debt. Like, is this just Democrats making money off the bank of the American people? We have a lot of answers that we need from Ilhan Omar, her husband also, and this VC firm that he's involved with.
Yeah, I think we need a lot of questions from both of them. It seems like Ilhan Omar is feeling the pressure during a recent field hearing in Minnesota. She actually let her foul mouth fly. Take a listen.
I don't want to curse, but those of us who escaped places like that, the one place where we thought we would never experience this is the U.S. States. And we should all be ashamed that it is the United States that is allowing for this to take place, and it is being forecasted and broadcasted to the rest of the world, where people are calling and saying, are you sure this is America? I am ashamed.
Ain't nobody calling and saying that. Ilhan is full of shit, and that's just what it is. I don't care what anybody says. That's truly what it is. And it's a shame that you have these individuals that are constantly doing this when it comes to the fraud, when it comes to the lies. Don't spread into false information. I'm telling y'all, everything that has, I'm telling y'all, it's just not right with me. And just like Nancy Mace, I want action. We need action. We need to see stuff, done. We truly do, especially with Ilhan Omar. Especially. I'm telling y'all, too much. Make sure y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Definitely appreciate y'all. Much love, everybody. Stay tuned for the next video. Got some more bangers dropping, so just stay tuned. Catch y'all next one.